which is he's monitoring our platform and see how we're doing with that. So I think we are on our way. We're doing well so far. So, for sure we have to keep adjusting certain things, changing things around, it's fun. As long as everybody is engaging and having fun with it also as well, that's what's, and influencing people in a good way and helping them with their health it's wonderful, I think.
Well, I mean, that's a great segue into the stuff that we're working on. What I'm excited about doing and learning and the things that we're working on is all about exactly what you just described, building a community. Before you go, I want to share with you a real quick slide that I'm working on. I'm putting out more and more information to help people understand what we're doing.
Yeah, but by the way, the slide you shared, it's wonderful before, it was really great. And I love the color, the way you did it. It's really very attractive and very easy to understand about what you do.
Well, thank you. That's the thing, is that this is new. And people kind of look at this and say, okay, what is it? And
yeah, exactly.
And so that was one attempt to kind of describe it. But let me share my screen with you. I'd love to get your perspective on this before you have to go.
Okay, great.
Let me.
Could you wait 1 minute? Just 1 minute, please. I'm coming.
Let me see. All right. Can you see?
Oh yeah, I see.
You see my screen?
Yes.
So I've done in my career. I think I told you I had a long career in the technology industry and all around the management of data and information and trying to turn different information into knowledge and ultimately, hopefully, wisdom. And I've been thinking a lot about that and what we're doing in this community. And I'm working on this slide right now on this concept of, there's a lot of information out there, and the internet is flooded with information. Not all of it is knowledge. It's just data and information out there. Knowledge is when you take information and you make it useful for some business purpose. Mm-hmm. Wisdom is the next level up. Wisdom is when folks like you apply knowledge often enough to say, look, this is now reached the level of wisdom. And that's really what I think we're doing in this environment. Because, if you look over there on the left-hand side of the screen, people are going to all these great schools, the Institute for Functional Medicine and College of Integrative Medicine and the A4M and these places, and they're doing great coursework and getting certified. But one of the reasons we put together the Practice Experts Collaborative is because they couldn't necessarily transfer that knowledge into useful work in their careers. And so what I see us building is, in the Practice Experts Collaborative, is really a wisdom platform. It's a community in which we can take that knowledge and surround people with folks like you, experts in their field in different aspects of healthcare, and transform that knowledge into wisdom and ultimately mastery. They can come and ultimately go out into their careers and create, exceptional careers in healthcare practices. I thought this was a really kind of simple way to look at that. And I'm gonna work on this slide a little bit more, put it out there, and do a little video around it. But what are your just the immediate thoughts, especially for you? I know you got to run, but Roald, any initial thoughts on that?
I think I love it. I don't like, I think as information goes by, I don't like it very crowded, which is perfect the way you did it. I think if you add more information, then we don't know where we look at exactly. Knowledge, wisdom, mastery. So why again you did wisdom second time here?
Oh, because this is just a graphic that I'll probably do that graphic as a draw it down slower. This is just something I was working on, but the idea was there's a stair step up. There's, you have information, you go up some stairs, you get the knowledge, you go up some stairs, you get the wisdom. And that's what we're creating with this platform. That was just kind of a graphic way to show that. But yeah, do you feel like that's what we're building? That's certainly my vision and what I'm hoping that this community is delivering out to the members.
Yeah, I will add some kind of like something connection as well. You are connecting like industries, like connecting people together, like nurse practitioners with doctors and coaches. Maybe that's another point.
Wonderful. That's great.
Uh,
That's great.
I mean, that's the top of my head. I don't know what else could be
Yeah.
added.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important. Because it
Yeah.
seems like I'm seeing a bunch of different organizations.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm so sorry. I have to.
Okay.
I
All right, great.
apologize.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Good to
Always,
see you.
thanks for the feedback. It's always
Yes,
great to
thank
see
you.
you.
Bye.
See you soon. Sorry, Sherry, what were you saying?
I was like, yeah, I actually see that there's all these. I didn't even realize all of these different ones existed. You know, on the left, all those like Functional Medicines Institute. And
Oh, that's not even, that's just a sampling.
I know. I'm assuming there's a lot more out there, just like in
Yeah.
the medical field, like in the tradition, I guess I should say conventional, you know, like AMA, and you got all these. But you know, just to even be in the integrative and functional medicine, I'm sure there's much more, just like you see in health, you know, other places. The only thing I would say too is, how are we going to know? How are you going to measure and know? Like, you took mastery to implementation and, you know, some action, right? And then how it'll be cool to see like results and outcomes.
Excellent. That's absolutely an excellent point. And you know, if you look in the collaborative, let me stop sharing my screen. And let me go out there, because you just made an excellent point, and you know, always better kind of like talk through it. So when you go down into the resources area of the collaborative,
Yeah.
you know, that's exactly why we put together the resources that we did. Because what I didn't want to create in this site is, I didn't want to just create a membership destination site like a lot of the places out in social media, where you have I need to share my screen again. Hold on a second. You know, where you have just people going there and consuming information. We really wanted this to be a place where you could, first of all, interact with people, build community, build relationships, share information. But then, as you just said, you said a very important point, to be able to take this down into action and solve real problems. And first of all, in the topic areas that we've got. So, you know, in these disease areas, you know,
Yeah.
what are we doing to address, you know, the most critical complex diseases and chronic illnesses out there? You know, diabetes,
Yeah.
you know, you know, all the big ones, and you know, and the relatively small ones. I mean, Lyme disease comes up more and more and more as something that's impacting the whole body, obviously COVID. So we've got all these, you know, diseases and chronic illness areas, and then we've got a whole range of, you know, innovative, you know, therapy modalities and care protocols that people are implementing.
Yeah.
You know, to address those diseases. I mean, this community of people in holistic healthcare, in functional and integrative lifestyle medicine,
Yeah.
you know, they're really addressing this stuff. And so, you know, our hopes, and what I'm you know, starting to see is, you know, as people, let me give you an example, so I'm not just talking in theory here. This is really a, you know, a good example, I think. Among, I could pick a whole bunch of them on the site that are examples, but in cancer prevention. So
Yeah.
So you know, here's some dialogue where, you know, under the topic of cancer, here's Dr. Dunn going out and talking about immune system dysfunction and how that makes you susceptible to cancer. So here's a situation where if somebody's interested in innovative treatments to cancer, they go out here, click in and say, look, Dr. Dunn's got some interesting stuff to say about here. Here's an article that she wrote, but why don't I go down into Dr. Dunn's site section of the site and see, what's going on with her?
Yeah.
What is she talking about, and what is in her discipline of epigenetics, she's perhaps got some really innovative things for us to think about and talk about, and that I can go down into her resource area and start collaborating with her. So, this is an example where let me click down into, I'm trying to get down to her resource area really quick. This is an example where we start off with the discussion about cancer.
Yeah.
She brings up a provocative topic on that, and just mention some work that she's doing. And now I go down into her area of the site, and I'm able to engage in the things that she's doing. I can see, oh, holy cow, she's got some courses going on, and she's got a training class in methylation, and so this
Is she a physician, or is she like a PhD?
She's originally a chiropractor.
Wow.
So
Okay.
she's a chiropractor. She got skilled up in kinesiology. She got into Eastern medicine, and through that, kind of the normal combination of things that we so often hear is that, many of the people that we talk with who have found their way into holistic medicine do it because they had some personal thing. They had some personal health issue, or they just had a family health issue that drove them into it.
Yeah.
Less common, but I mean, we also talk to people who just through their thirst for knowledge started learning more and more and more, and said, wait a minute, this conventional medicine path isn't really helping people, so how do we do that? So yeah, she went down this path. She doesn't actually practice anymore because she's gotten so busy educating other practitioners all over the country. So she goes all over the country doing workshops, and since COVID hit, she's doing more and more stuff online. So, she's got webinar series, she's got a course that she just launched last month. But the point, I don't want to lose the point that you brought up earlier that was so impactful. That and this is my point about this being not just an information site, not just a knowledge site, is that it very rapidly leads right into wisdom, because you can look for a topic like we just did in that example of cancer. You can see Dr. Dunn's got an interesting approach. You can go right down in here and start a dialogue with her, or attend one of her courses to put that work into action, if that makes sense. So and that's what we're trying to kind of educate other folks about. Hi, Barbara.
Very cool.
So we're educating other folks about this platform as this path to go from the knowledge that you gain out of the marketplace, the knowledge you get in these courses with some of these institutions, and then taking that right into your career and your practice and your ability to deliver better efficacy for your patients. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think that's, all those resources are great.
Yeah, so that's what I've been attempting to do with some of the graphic I put out the other day, and the one I'm working on right now is to kind of explain what this unique community is, because we are creating something new here, and everybody's busy. Everybody's got very busy lives, very busy practices. They're working with patients all day. And I just want to have a site where they can come in quickly, grab some, bits of knowledge, get some wisdom from the folks that are there, make some connections, and incrementally improve the work that they're doing in their practices.
Yeah.
So Barbara, how are you doing? there's-
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm like sitting in my car, but I don't have video on. I'm good. Like once you changed it to 12, it made it harder for me to get on, but I figured I'd get on for a little bit today.
Oh,
just to
sorry
see what
about
you guys
that.
are doing.
Yeah, it's so
No, that's
hard to
okay.
find. It's so hard to find the right time for folks. And regardless of what time you choose, it doesn't work for some people. That's why we record them and then play them back later and or make them available. But
Yeah. But, I'm just listening to what you have for today, so I'll listen in for a little while. Just thought I'd try to catch up.
well, we're just about. I was just working on a new kind of graphic to help people understand what we're doing with this platform because it is unique. It is, with anything that comes along that's new. Sometimes you got to go a little extra effort to help people understand what it's all about. So I'm very interested in this subject of how the collaborative is different than other sources that people find on the internet, because we're inundated with information, right? But so little of it is actual knowledge, and very little of it is actual wisdom. I think we're really building a wisdom community here to accomplish some big things in healthcare. It's really, I went back again, there's a question that people get posed to, and I know some, I think both of you have answered it, but what are you looking for from the community? And it's so heartening to me because the answers that I'm reading in there are almost never personal. Like, I want this, I want that. It's all about people speak about, they want to change things. They want to change healthcare. They want to change, the way they practice medicine, and that's what this is all about. And it's really heartening to me to see those kinds of things out there.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking obviously as a health coach, obviously coming from a different perspective, that I don't have a big practice of patients, and we're limited in what we're able to do, and that's why I kind of joined forces with Joe and Ralda and the other group to try to do the Thursdays at 3, which has been a lot of fun, and really just make connections, because as I don't know if I've said it before, but I feel like everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses, and it kind of takes a village in order to make healthcare change, in that you can't be everything for everybody. And so if you have people that can communicate with each other, and we all work for the good of the clients and the patients so that we can make people healthy. So I think that it's good to be able to collaborate with other people of different modalities so that you know what's out there and you have go-to resources to be able to work together, to get information, to refer people to, just to make connections so that we can all work together for the greater good of patients and clients.
Oh, absolutely. You just said that beautifully. And the health coach profession specifically, I've learned so much from you folks since we started this community about what you do. And the thing is, what I've been most impressed about is how multidisciplinary you are, because a lot of aspects of healthcare, the medical doctor community in particular has become so specialized, but you really kind of, in the work that you do, and really cross disciplines and cross modalities, and are able to bring such value of looking kind of horizontally when a lot of people are looking vertically at kind of their specific specialty or something like that. You've got tremendous value to bring, to come in and say, hey, look, let's think about these other ways of addressing this complex problem that this patient has, and those ways may be nutritional, they may be sleep, they may be stress management, they might be some kind of spiritual practice. I mean, that's what's what's really kind of blown me away. I had a long conversation with Joe the other day. We were just doing a catch up, and I told her about some friends of ours who have a child who has severe egg allergies. I mean, they cannot even bring eggs in their house. So that means
Wow.
nobody else in their family, they've got 3 other children, nobody else in their house can eat eggs. I mean, and we started talking through it, and we're connecting her with that family now because I mean, I think she's got a unique perspective that might be able to help them. And I mean, they've been wrestling with this thing for years. I mean, it's and she said, look, you know, you may not be able to completely cure somebody like that, but you can take it from life-threatening to manageable. And get to the point where you could actually bring eggs in the house, and she could even maybe at one day be able to eat an egg, and it might still give her some kind of reaction, but it's not going to kill her. You know,
Exactly. And that's a great thing that, the thing I think that health coaching, and I think why we're trying to bring awareness to the profession, is that there are, as many times as you blink your eyes, there are so many different, what I'll call quote unquote health coaching programs. Everybody today can be a health coach,
right.
but that does, but the credentials of which you can operate under and the education that you get are as night and day. And so what we've been able to get from School of Applied Functional Medicine has really set us apart, and exactly like what Joe hopefully will be able to do with this is that you're looking at that interconnectedness, and we learned all of these things. We learned the science. We did case studies and learning to pull everything together, and that's not typical of every coaching program. Most coaching programs are, change your diet a little, change your lifestyle a little. It's more of a, I'll say, a soft way, and there's a lot of people that can be helped by that. But the more complex cases require you to really be able to understand the full-blown interconnectedness in the body. And so, when somebody, it's just like with any profession, every doctor is different in terms, there's good doctors and there's not so good doctors. And then there's, it's a matter of not really categorizing. I think we're trying to take the stigma out of, I'm just a health coach, to really understand, having people understand that we have a tremendous level of knowledge after going through the program. And I can just say we all had done a prior certification before coming to SAFM. Most of us went to Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which is a great foundation. But what I'm able to do now, and what we're all able to do now, is night and day compared to what we could do coming out of integrative nutrition. So I think trying to collaborate and bring awareness to what's possible. So that's kind of why I joined, because I want to be able to collaborate, meet new people, see what's happening, and because everything that's new and possible is only going to be able to help the clients and the patients in a positive way.
Absolutely. I'm going to share my screen one more time, and perhaps we'll close on this for today. But before you got on, I shared something that I was working on, and you just nailed it, because depending on where people are coming from, they're going through these courses that give them a lot of knowledge. They're going to the Institute for Functional Medicine or the College of Integrative Medicine. This doesn't even begin to cover, here's Functional Medicine Coaching Academy. This doesn't even begin to cover the institutes that are out there, which, by the way, we've got all the institutions listed out in the collaborative. There's a whole section where they're all listed out there and what they do. But the point is, and you just made the point, that you come out of those institutes, whether you're taking one course or whether you're taking a 3-year fellowship and getting a certification, but then what do you do with that knowledge? And we've created this community, and you've got your own coaching community sessions that you do directly with patients, and you also have your coaching group within the collaborative, but we're taking that knowledge and turning it into wisdom and mastery, because you're showing by example, how does this knowledge become practical for the efficacy for patients, and how do we improve practices, and ultimately how do we create exceptional careers and exceptional healthcare practices, because we've taken the knowledge down that path to wisdom and mastery in these
Right.
things, and help other practitioners know that. Because, and you said another thing beautifully, which was that, a lot of these doctors or chiropractors or wherever they are in their profession, they, people have a limited view. You can't know everything. So that's what the collaborative is here to do, is say, hey, look, we've got this big problem with a patient. Who knows about this aspect of it? Could it be genetic? Could it be sleep oriented? Could it be, family history oriented? Is it nutrition? So that's kind of the goal here, is to bring all that together in one place, so we can, look at these situations, capture them, create case studies, which again, there's a case study area of the collaborative as well, and ultimately have this really strong foundation that everybody's standing on and getting better and better and better at how we treat patients.
Yep, exactly.
Well, that's super. That's all I had for today.
Thanks.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that, and Barbara and Sherry and Ralda was on here with some more, great wisdom of her own. Appreciate your feedback on this stuff.
Sure, no problem.
We're gonna-
I could jump in.
Yep, awesome to hear you. Well,
All right.
we're not going to have a session next week, so I hope you all have a great
You too.
a great Thanksgiving holiday, and stay safe out there.
Yeah, everybody stay safe.
You
Take
too.
care. See you
All right.
later.
Bye.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.